Before we dive into today's episode, I've got something special for you. If you are tired of feeling bloated by the end of every single day, even though you're eating healthy, my free 5-day challenge is starting April 13th. In just 5 days, I will help you simplify your meals, improve digestion, reduce bloating, and feel lighter without having to cut out more foods. You will get daily action steps, live calls, and support inside our private group, and it is completely 100% free. Enrollment is only open for a limited time, so grab your spot now at beyondbloated.com/challenge. All right, now let's jump into today's episode. Are you tired of feeling like your stomach has its own agenda? Like the bloating, gas, or constant trips to the bathroom are running your life? Welcome to the Beyond Bloated podcast, the podcast where we tackle those frustrating gut issues head on, without strict diets or giving up your favorite foods. I'm Carly, a certified gut health coach who's been there, struggling with bloating that made me look 6 months pregnant, gut pain that kept me from enjoying meals, and fatigue so draining it felt impossible to get through the day. Now, I help women like you find freedom from those symptoms and take back control of their lives. Each week, we'll debunk gut health myths, dive into simple, actionable tips, and hear stories from women who've been exactly where you are. It's time to feel confident, energized, and bloat-free. Let's get started. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Beyond Bloated podcast, or welcome for the very first time. Almost 1 year ago, I shared some of the biggest reasons why women stay bloated even when they eat clean. And that episode was one of my most downloaded episodes to date. So today I am revisiting that episode because I have something very special for you, a free 5-day challenge starting April 13th that is going to guide you step by step to a flatter, less distended belly by dinner time. Over those 5 days, you are going to have daily action steps to help you improve meal timing, plate balance, mindful eating, hydration, stress, all the things that are contributing to your gut issues, even when you're eating clean. I originally released this episode last April as an intro into the free challenge that I did last year. This year, the challenge is new and improved. I took all of the incredible feedback that I got from last year's free challenge, implemented it to make this year's challenge bigger and better than ever. So I wanted to bring this episode back because the concepts are relevant. We are still working on the same tools and skills and habits to reduce bloating so you do not have that 6-month pregnant looking belly by dinner time. But if you did the challenge last year and you loved it, you're going to love it even more this year. And if you didn't do it last year, you're in luck because you are just getting the upgraded version right out the gate. So if you are ready to see results this month and finally take control of your evening bloating, you can join the free 5-day challenge. We start April 13th and it is a quick 5 days. So you need to sign up before April 13th if you want to be involved. I want you there. So make sure you head to beyondbloated.com/challenge to snag your spot before we get started on the 13th. Pause this episode, go do it right now so you don't forget, and then come back to hear all the reasons why you are still bloated, even though you're eating clean. Hope everyone had a lovely long weekend. If you were privileged to have a long weekend, here in Canada, Good Friday is a stat holiday, so most people were off on Friday. I had a Easter brunch on Friday, Easter dinner on Saturday. So I've been eating good, feeling good, but I know that is not the case for everybody. A lot of times when we have events, when we are going to Easter dinner, social gatherings with food, it is a nerve-wracking experience. Not that long ago, that was the experience I had. There was a point in time where I had eliminated gluten, dairy, sugar, and grains from my diet, So, as you can imagine, I was a nightmare to have as a dinner guest. My friends, family would be like, "What the hell can you eat? This is what I'm making for dinner. Can you even eat it?" And I was very strict on my diet because I was afraid if I strayed from this diet for one night, all of my progress would be ruined. And the hilarious part is that the progress didn't exist. Even when I was gluten-free, dairy-free, sugar-free, grain-free, I was still bloated every single day. There were actually times when my bloating was significantly worse than what it was when I was not doing this crazy strict diet. And the diet was just part of it. I was also taking so many supplements. Like I was probably taking 7, 8, 9 different supplements, and they were like scheduled at certain times, take this one with breakfast, take this one with lunch. You can't take these two together. And I would bring them with me everywhere I go. If I'm going to a friend's house, if I'm going out for dinner at a restaurant, I've got my little pack of supplements with me because, again, I was afraid if I missed one day, one time of taking that supplement, my progress was ruined. Everything that I was doing was not going to work. And yet, once again, my bloating did not go away. I spent thousands of dollars on supplements. I followed very restrictive diets for months and months and months, and I was still bloated every single day during this time period. Maybe you can relate to this. Maybe you have also cut out gluten, dairy, sugar, grains, or any other sort of foods. You've spent way too much money on supplements that did nothing for you, or you have followed some gut-friendly advice that you found online through Instagram. And even though you did it perfectly, you still felt bloated, you were still exhausted, and ultimately extremely frustrated because you are doing what you are supposed to do, yet you are not getting the results that you are supposed to be getting. Well, the good news is this episode today is dedicated to you, and I am going to help you understand why that is happening, why you are following the diets, taking the supplements at the right time, listening to the advice online and doing it perfectly, yet you are not getting the results that you are promised. And I'm going to let you know what to do instead. Because as I mentioned, I was you. I did the diets, the supplements, the online advice for years, and it didn't get me where I wanted to go. But now, today, I feel the best that I ever have, and I'm going to share some tips on what you can do to get these results, because this is what actually works. Take it from someone who did the same shit over and over and over again, looking for the perfect diet, the perfect supplement for years, wasting my money, wasting my time, stressing myself out. And ultimately, that is not what I needed. That was not the solution. And if you are in the same boat, it's probably not the solution for you either. We are going to dig into why you are doing everything right, but not getting the results that you deserve to have. I want to start by letting you know that this is not your fault. You might feel like you're not getting results because you slipped up one day during your diet and you accidentally ate something with cheese in it and you didn't mean to, and that erased all of your progress. And if you didn't have that one slip up, then you probably would have got the results that you were looking for, and now you have to start all over. It's not true. Trust me, I have been there. I did the diets literally perfectly for months, and it did not get me anywhere. I also eventually stopped doing those diets. I now today eat the most amount of foods that I have in over 6 years. I take the least amount of supplements, and I feel the best that I ever have. So no, it is not because you slipped up and ate something that you shouldn't have. It's not because you decided the one supplement that your naturopath recommended was too expensive, so you skipped that one. That was not the answer. That supplement was not the magic pill that was going to get you your results. You are doing everything that you can. I know you are trying very hard, and it is not your fault. You are not experiencing these symptoms because you're failing or because you're lazy or you're not disciplined. It is because the approach you are following is not right for you. You need a different approach, and I am going to help you find that today. So allow me to start off by informing you why your restrictive diet is not helping and why it could actually be making things worse for you. When your naturopath or your doctor or the online article you read told you to eliminate gluten, dairy, sugar, grains, legumes, and all happiness in your life, they didn't also tell you about the impact of stress on your gut that was going to cause. Because when you start cutting out a bunch of foods, especially without any guidance or clear reason why, you're just kind of told, cut out all these things, go. It can send your body into a constant state of hypervigilance because you are now reading every single label with a critical eye. You are Googling every single symptom that comes up. You are second guessing every meal that you didn't put together yourself. And that mental load is causing you chronic stress. Take it from someone who's been there. Once again, eating out on the low FODMAP diet is a nightmare. Going to a friend's house, a family dinner, all of the places where you are not in control of the food, you're having like an anxiety attack because you're like, what if they put secret gluten in here and I don't know? What's in this sauce? What sugar is used in this dressing? It's just so much stress because you're trying to follow something so perfectly and it's too much. I know what it's like to have the all or nothing mindset. A lot of us with gut issues happen to be type A individuals trying to do everything perfectly. We want order. We want to do it right. There's something to that. So when you are trying to do this perfect diet, no matter where you go, your body is very stressed out. And when our bodies are stressed, it produces more cortisol, which is our main stress hormone. Now, this causes a major problem because elevated cortisol literally slows down digestion. It impacts your stomach acid, your bile flow, your enzyme production, your gut motility, and it also increases inflammation. This means that your food is not being broken down properly. So even if you are following your crazy strict diet to a T, that major stress that you are feeling is causing you to not be able to digest it anyway. So you might as well just eat whatever the hell you want because it doesn't matter at that point. You are not digesting your food when you are stressed. This is going to lead to gas, bloating, discomfort, and that is why you are looking 6 months pregnant after every single meal. So ultimately, it's pretty ironic that the super clean, ultra gut healing diet is probably causing more bloat simply because you are so stressed out by it, because you are trying to nail it and get it perfect, and you do not want to stray from this diet for 1 second. And it doesn't matter because you can't digest it in that state. The other issue with these super restrictive diets is that they reduce your food variety, obviously, which then also reduces the diversity in your microbiome. Our microbiomes are filled with trillions of bacteria, and they all play a huge role in our digestion, bloating, immune function, mood, skin, literally anything you can think of. Your microbiome is playing a role. So those gut bacteria thrive on variety. Different types of plants feed different strains of beneficial bacteria. There was a research study that went out saying people who eat 30 plus plants in a week have the most diverse microbiomes. This is because different plants feed different beneficial bacteria. So the more diverse your diet is, the more diverse your microbiome is, which is going to make you have healthier digestion. So when we start cutting out whole food groups like grains, legumes, fruits, specific vegetables, we are starving certain bacteria in our gut, and then our gut diversity drops. If we have a less diverse gut microbiome, we now have weaker resilience, slower digestion, more inflammation, and a lot more food sensitivities. So the result of this is more bloating and a gut that becomes more sensitive, not stronger. So again, the irony here is you have eliminated all these different food groups because you think they are triggering your gut issues, your bloating, your diarrhea, your constipation.
Okay, pause for a second. Have you taken my bloat personality quiz yet? It's totally free and honestly, freakishly accurate. This quick 2-minute quiz will help you figure out exactly which habits and patterns are behind your bloating, the ones no one ever talks about, and it gives you personalized, simple steps you can start using today to feel less bloated and more comfortable in your jeans. If you've ever wondered, why am I always bloated? even when I eat healthy, this quiz is your first clue. Head to beyondbloated.com/bloat-personality-quiz, or the link is in the show notes. Take the quiz and then send me your result. I love seeing which bloat personality everyone gets. Now, let's get back to the show.
Your skin issues, your mood disorders, whatever it may be, yet you are starving the bacteria in your gut and making all of those symptoms so much worse. Cutting out all these different food groups is simply miserable and ruins your relationship with food, your social connection around food. We as a society really love food. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Of course, there are better options and not so great options when it comes to food. But I love going out for brunch with my friends or my boyfriend. I love going to my parents' place for family dinner. I love going to my boyfriend's family's place for brunch. Like these things bring us together. We get together with friends, family, colleagues, and we share a meal together. We have a good time. If you are limiting your diet so heavily, you have lost that joy around being excited to go out for food. You are now afraid of going out. You don't know what to eat. And that's sad. I have so many clients who tell me, I am so afraid of food. One of my intake questions asks them, what is your relationship with food like? Tell me all of it. Give me the deets. And it's so sad for me to read them saying, I used to love food. Now I hate it. I hate eating. I actually just don't eat. I skip meals all day long. I don't want to go out to eat with my friends or anyone. I avoid social situations. I cancel last minute because my stomach is upset. And once upon a time, food brought them joy. And now it brings them fear, anxiety, and stress. And I was that person as well. I love food to this day. My dad always tells me, yeah, you're a foodie. You like food. You always post about food. I'm like, yeah, I am. I love food. I love eating. It makes me happy. But rewind a couple years back, and I did not have that same mentality around food. I was just eating what I thought I should be. I was avoiding all the foods that I thought were causing me pain and discomfort. And it was a chore. I had to make these crazy recipes because they were safe. And I didn't want that. I wanted to order what I actually wanted, which was sometimes the burger and fries. But I was like, oh my God, no, I could never have that. That will kill me. Guess what? I had a burger and fries last week. Cutting out more foods does not always mean getting more relief. I'm not saying that you shouldn't pay attention to how food makes you feel, because that is absolutely important. I, to this day, still do not eat gluten. I honestly don't know if I can. Maybe I'll try it one day, but for now, it's a no. That was a clear red flag for me back in the day. I had gluten, I had bloating, pain, diarrhea. I didn't want to deal with that anymore. So yes, listen to your body. And if there is a clear signal, a clear pattern, then absolutely you should not be eating that food. But when you're cutting out entire food groups like fruits, vegetables, grains, legumes, all the things just because, that is not the solution. What actually works, and this took me years to figure out, is nourishing your body with enough food. A lot of us are not eating enough, so that is important. A variety of nutrients, so not limiting your diet just because, eating as many foods as you can without pain, of course, and calming your nervous system, moving your body, staying hydrated, and just building habits that work with your body, not against it. So let me share with you the missing pieces that no one is really talking about. People will tell you to eliminate foods from your diet, to take a bunch of supplements, to follow some crazy parasite cleanse, to do this detox. But let's actually talk about the core habits that are going to make a difference in your digestion, because they did for me and they've also been working for my clients. So number one is meal timing. If you are skipping lunch because you're working through it, if you are delaying breakfast or not having it at all, this severely messes with your digestion and your hormones. Cortisol, which is our stress hormone, is supposed to be high in the mornings to help us wake up and get going. But without breakfast, your body stays in a stress state for longer. High cortisol delays stomach emptying and slows digestion, like I mentioned earlier. So by delaying breakfast, you can also cause blood sugar crashes later in the day, which often show up as cravings, fatigue, irritability, or bloating. Your gut also really loves rhythm and routine. So regular, consistent meals support digestive enzyme production, healthy bowel movements, and helps keep your blood sugar levels balanced, which also keeps your hormones balanced too. So if you are someone who doesn't feel hungry in the morning, that is often a sign that your digestion and hunger cues are dysregulated. You should feel hungry in the morning. If you have trained your body to not want breakfast, that's because you have trained it to do so. It is not because you're not a breakfast person. It is not a reason to skip breakfast. That first meal within 1 to 2 hours of waking is very crucial to getting everything else running smoothly. Probably one of the most overlooked parts of digestion is how you eat. It is not just about what we eat, it is how we eat. As I mentioned earlier, when we eat in a stressed state, and that includes rushing, if you're wolfing your food down as fast as humanly possible, or you're multitasking, scrolling on social media, or typing an email while you eat, you're in your sympathetic nervous system, which is your fight or flight mode. So your body diverts blood away from your digestive tract to handle the emergency. Your body literally thinks you're being chased by a cougar at this time. It doesn't matter that you're not. It doesn't matter that Bob from finance sent you a nasty email and it pissed you off and now you're all stressed out. That is the same as being chased as a cougar to your body. This means less stomach acid. We need stomach acid to break down our food. This means less enzyme production, which means it's going to be harder to digest our meals, and slowed motility, which means food moves slower through your digestive tract, which is going to cause bloating and gas. So we need to eat mindfully. No matter what you are eating, even if it is the most perfectly healthy meal you can imagine, you need to slow down, do some deep breathing before you start eating, chew your food to applesauce consistency, and eat without distractions. Why do we need to be entertained at every second of the day? Sit at the table with your food and take 20 minutes to eat it. You don't need social media. You don't need a TV on. You don't need it. Just eat your meal. Enjoy it. Sit with yourself. We don't do that enough, and that is why we are so stressed out. The next time you have bloating, gas, stomach pain, whatever, after you eat, I want you to think, what state was I in when I ate this meal? How did I eat this meal? Were you on your phone? Were you eating as fast as humanly possible? Did you chew your food? What was your mindset like? What were you doing right before you started eating? I want to shift the perspective of what did I eat to cause this to how was I eating and did that trigger this bloating or this gas or this discomfort? Because how we eat is just as important as what we eat. Now, this next habit seems like a no-brainer, and you're going to tune me out, but listen to me. Are you drinking water? Seriously. Because I'm telling you, all of my clients that come to me do not drink water. If you're listening, ladies, I love you, but you don't drink water, and it's shocking because we just dismiss it. We're like, yeah, drink water, who cares? Are you actually drinking water? Like, when was the last time you tracked how much water you drink in a day and how much was it? If it's like 2-3 glasses of water, that is not nearly enough. We overlook it because it seems too simple and like that's just not a solution. That's not what I need. But water is essential for every single part of digestion. It keeps your digestive tract lubricated and moving, so it affects your bowel movements. If you aren't drinking enough, you're going to be constipated. It helps break down food and absorb nutrients. So if you're not drinking water, your food is not being broken down well, and you're not absorbing the nutrients from that food, which is going to lead you to have nutrient deficiencies and cause a whole bunch of other symptoms. And it also helps regulate stomach acid and support enzyme function, which I've talked about how crucial that is for also being able to break down your food and digest it properly. If you are dehydrated, you are going to have harder stools, you are going to be constipated, and you are going to have more bloating. Fun fact for you, thirst can show up as hunger or fatigue. So if you feel really tired or you're having like these random cravings or you're feeling hungry even though you just ate, you might be having snacks when really you just need to drink some freaking water. I want you to know it's okay if you aren't doing these things. If you're not drinking enough water, if you are eating while distracted and stressed, if you're skipping meals, that's okay. I know it isn't easy to change your habits. And if you've been doing these things for years, it's hard to break the cycle, especially because it has become very normalized. People think they're too busy to have breakfast. They have to rush out the door. They have to work through lunch or multitask while they're eating. And water is kind of replaced with coffee or wine or nothing at all. So I'm going to help you out. My free challenge coming up, we are focusing on these habits. We are going to make sure we are not skipping meals. We're going to make sure we're eating mindfully. And we're going to make sure that we are hydrating consistently. We don't want to be chugging gallons of water while we're eating. Just small, consistent sips throughout the day. Just a consistent flow of hydration as we go. These are the types of things that I am going to help you with in my 5-day challenge. Habits that we are going to be working on in this challenge are the exact things that I help my one-on-one clients with. So you are going to get a free glimpse into my one-on-one program. My clients feel so much better when they're finally shown what to focus on without having to obsess or restrict their food so heavily. I am so excited to get to work with a whole group of you at one time and help you start to make these shifts. We are really just going to focus on simple, sustainable habits that's going to help reduce your bloating fast. The challenge is going to include support from me and the entire group. We've got a group community. There will be an educational component, and there will also be action steps for you to take so that you can actually put into place and implement what you are learning to reduce your bloating. And if you're thinking, what kind of results am I going to get in 5 days? You're going to be surprised because I did run a similar challenge last year, the Bloat Free Summer Challenge. It was also 5 days, and the results that the participants got even shocked me. So yes, you can see improvement in 5 days. And if you want to find out, join the free challenge. It costs you nothing. You're going to learn something, you're going to implement something, and you're going to feel a little better. If you haven't already done so, head to beyondbloated.com/challenge to snag your spot. We start April 13th, and if you're not signed up before then, you can't participate. I am very excited to get to work with you coming up very soon. And I just want to remind you, you are not broken. You just have not had the full picture. And that is what I am here to help you with. My Instagram is @beyond.bloated. You can follow me there. Head to the show notes, download one of my freebies, or send me an email, carlyclose@beyondbloated.com. I'm always very excited to hear from you. So don't be shy, and I will talk to you next week. Did you learn something new and useful today? If the answer is a big, resounding hell yeah, do me a favor. Subscribe to this podcast. Even better, toss a rating in there too. It helps more bloated babes discover this show and lets me keep bringing you this free, gut-loving content every single week. And hey, don't be greedy. Share this episode with your bestie who's always unbuttoning her pants after dinner. She will love you even more for it. Thanks for hanging out with me and showing your gut some love. Keep on putting what you learn into practice and you will be bloat-free in no time. Catch you in the next one. Bye!